Hello and welcome. My name is Lachlan and I'm going to be building some of the stuff from the new Indomitus Box Game. So as you can see, I've already built the chaplain, whose knee was a separate piece, funnily enough. I've also already built the Blade Guard captain. So now I'm going to be building 5 more Assault Intercessors. So we're going to start by finding 1 on the sprue. There it is here. So I'm going to cut that off and clean it up. Yeah. So now that I've got 1 cut off, I'm going to grab my scalpel and just clean off the remnants of the sprue that it was on. Using the back of it to get rid of the mold lines, and the sharp bit to get rid of the lumps. Alright, now that I've done that, I'm gonna grab my plastic glue, and which you can personally use my clippers to get out. And, yep. And I'm gonna glue him onto the hole in the base. Place him at the right angle, and there we go. Now, I'm going to cut out the next bit, which is 13, which is just here. It's this chainsword looking piece. Look at that. Now, the reason that this chainsword is the second piece that goes on is that it's not connected to his hand. It's connected to his hip on this specific model, because this would be the sergeant, in which case he would just have his helmet clipped to his hip in the place of the chainsword. But as you can see, I've already built the sergeant, who is going to be pretty much the same pose. That's why I'm not going to be giving him the helmet, I'm going to be giving him a chainsword. Oh, let's dry fit it. Yep, there it is, dry fit. So now I'm going to glue it. Have I got some glue in there? Yeah, I have. So now I'm going to stick it in there properly. There we go. There we go. Next part to go on is number 2, which is his front leg, which I'm going to clip out now, once I find it. Now I just realised I forgot to clean that part up, so I guess I'll have to clean that up once it's dry. Next part is A12, which I'm sure some of the people who have seen the promotional material will know that this is the Space Marine that, rather than using his chainsword, he decided to clap the Necrons. So far this guy is looking so cool. Next up is part 11, his gunning arm. Yep, and this is the arm, it's all cleaned up. So now I'm gonna put it on. Now for this guy, you don't have a spare through the 2 sprues. You don't have a spare of his body and legs, but you do have a spare of his chest plate, arms, and head and chainsword. So you have a spare of both, well, depending on which set you take, on each sprue. Meaning that if you make 1 sergeant and 1 just regular Space Marine, you'll get a spare of both. And finally, number 14, his power pack. Here it is. Clean it up. And I found with the power packs that they just don't like going on. So what I do is I just clip off the peg entirely for the power packs. That's just a personal thing. I just think it's easier to do it that way. Because I just find that it doesn't go into the hole on the back particularly well. So I just And if you look inside anyway, there is like a slight, you can't really see it on the camera, but there is like a slight rim inside the hole. That means that it will go on anyway, with glue, not just on its own. And I put a little bit on the remainder of the stump because it does go in to the back. And there we go. Now I'm going to set him to one side, and by the time I finish the next intercessor, I'll be able to go back and clean up his head. Okay, so that was the 5 Assault Intercessors. Left on the sprue was a head, a helmet, a bionic arm, the hip helmet, and a chainsword. So I'm just going to stick that under here in the drawer of sprues. So I think that comparing the two people that could have been the sergeant is something that needs to be done, because no one else has yet. So there are the two different types. I personally really like them. Comparing them to a standard intercessor, this one's got a different head, but that's about it. They are about the same size, which is understandable. They're both intercessors. But yeah, that was building 5 Assault Intercessors. Thank you for watching.